أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء وسيد المرسلين وحبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين منتجبين المنتخبين المظلومين الغرر الميامين سيما بقية الله في الأراضين وهجته على الخلائق أجمعين سيدنا وإمام زماننا وصاحب نعمتنا وولي الأمرنا مهدي هذه الأمة وطؤوس أهل الجنة الحجة ابن الحسن العسكري فداه وأرواح العالمين صلوات اللهم صل There's a story in the glorious Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about the journey of Prophet Dawood and Prophet Sulaiman, father and son. The moral of the story, as you know, every lecture that I begin with, I always begin with the story. Then we delve into the topic of the lecture. The purpose of the story is for the children. Because if it's an hour lecture or a 45-minute lecture, the children are not going to be able to listen to the whole 45 minutes with concentration. Children, 5, 10, 15 minutes in the beginning is where they will absorb the lecture. The rest of it will be a bit difficult for them. So every lecture that I begin, as you notice throughout this series, I will always start with a story. That story is for the children, and then we move on to the topic of the actual lecture. So the story is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about these two prophets going on a journey, and with them they have a donkey, they ride. The moral and the purpose of the story is that one day the prophet says to his son, "Oh my son, can I give you a piece of advice?" He says, "Yes, father, of course." He says, "No matter what you do in life, right, you will never be able to please everyone." Common. You do one thing, some will agree, some will disagree. You do something else, others will disagree and some will agree. You can never please everybody. You can never satisfy everyone. You will always have people who criticize you. I mean, a few nights ago we discussed what? They criticized the Prophet. They criticized Imam Ali. They criticized the Prophet's daughter. They criticized Imam Hassan and Hussein alayhimus salam. So who are we? So this father is saying to his son, let me tell you that you can never satisfy everybody. So his son says, okay, father, expand, tell me a bit more. So the Prophet says, I'll give you an example, right? He says, we are now traveling with a donkey. He says, yes. He says, watch this. They go through the marketplace where there's loads of people. And what do? They both, father and son, sit on top of the donkey together. As they're going through the marketplace, they hear one man say, look, they're oppressing this animal so much. There's two of them, and they're both sitting on the donkey. That's unfair on the donkey. So the Prophet says to his son, do you hear that, right? He says, okay, now watch. So the father stays on the donkey, and the son gets off. They carry on going, they hear somebody else. Does this son have no sharam? What about the father? He's enjoying and relaxing and going on this journey while he's making his son walk. What is this? So the Prophet says, you're listening, right? Let's switch. The son gets on the donkey, the father gets on the floor. People are walking, they say, oh, look at the son. He's making his dad walk while he's enjoying the donkey ride. So he says, son, now watch this. They both get off the donkey. They both are now walking. They're going through the end of the marketplace, and they hear somebody say, these people have a donkey and they don't even use it. What's the point of this donkey? So Prophet Dawood and Prophet Solomon is listening. Dawood is saying, son, see, doesn't matter what you do in life. We are now traveling with this donkey. We've tried every way possible. We both got on. You got on, I walked. I got on, you walked. We both got off. But in all four situations, what happened? People criticized. They had something negative to say. So just the moral of this story is what? We remember Imam al-Hussein in these nights. And throughout the year we do the Azadari of Aba Abdullah al-Hussein. You will always get people criticizing you. You will always get people saying, why do you hit yourselves? Why do you cry? Why do you perform this act? Why do you perform that act? Why do you do self-flagellation? Why do you do zanjeer? Why do you do tatbir? You will always get people who will always question you. Our response back is that we will be able to prove these things from the Holy Quran. We will be able to prove these things from the narrations of the prophets. We will be able to prove these things from the hadith of the Imams. And I think on the 9th of Muharram, my topic is Azadari, crying and self-flagellating from the Quran and Hadith. And in that hour lecture, we will dissect this entire topic and we will give you the proofs of what Islam says that you are allowed and not allowed to do. But nonetheless, today's topic, so we're going on a journey, right? We started 50 years before the day of Ashura, and my purpose of this series of lectures is what? Is to show you that Karbala did not take place in Muharram, it didn't take place in Rajab, it took place 50 years before the day of Ashura. We started with what? The Prophet, right? What was the moral and the purpose of that lecture? That they were denying the Prophet a pen and a paper. They were saying the Prophet was illiterate. They were disobeying the Prophet. They were lying about the Prophet. They were saying the Prophet said certain things when he didn't say them. So they were creating the norm within society that even though this man is the man that brought you the religion, you can criticize him. You can call him delirious, na'udhu billah. You can say he's gone crazy. You can lie about him. It's all right. And moving on in our timeline, we got to what? The Holy Lady of Light yesterday, which was the land of Fadak. What did they do? They stole the land from her. So now, not only have they called the Prophet a liar and delirious, but now they've taken it one step further. What was that? They've taken it one step further by declaring that we can now steal from the Ahlul Bayt, and it's fine. No problem. It's okay. The mindset, they were creating a series of events. They were creating a plot that 50 years later, when we say, let's go kill the Prophet's grandson, 30,000 people will have no problem with it. And they'll say, okay, let's go kill him. So first they disrespected the Prophet. Then they stole from his daughter. Then they attacked his daughter. They murdered his daughter. Now, moving on in that timeline, today's lecture I want to title, The Oppression of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Alayhi salam. Salawat. The oppression of Amir al-Mu'mineen. Because now as the timeline is going further and further, we are getting closer and closer to Ashura. So they disrespected the Prophet, they disrespected his daughter. Now watch how they disrespected Imam Ali. Tonight let's dissect the life of Amir al-Mu'mineen during his Khilafat. The 2.5 to 3 years that Amir al-Mu'mineen reigned as the physical Khalifa. We know he was already the Khalifa, no doubt, but the physical fourth Khalifa of Islam. And we'll talk about what they did. They instigated 3 wars against the Imam. 2.5 years this Imam rules, and you have 3 wars with him. 25 years you remain silent, you didn't say anything. And now you're going to war with him. What? They were trying to show the Muslims, look, it's okay. Even if you attack the Ahlul Bayt, even if you go to war with the Ahlul Bayt, even if you try and kill the Ahlul Bayt, it's okay. We can do this. And then tomorrow we will speak about Imam Hassan and the treaty that he signed with Muawiyah. And what they did with Imam Hassan was what? They eventually poisoned the Imam. So that now people are getting used to seeing what? We can oppress them, we can go to war with them, we can attack them, we can steal from them, and now we can even poison them. And all this led to Ashura. All this was a step-by-step process until finally on the day of Ashura, they decided to kill the Prophet's grandson. So today, let's speak about the Khilafat of Amir al-Mu'mineen. One of the questions that we get as the Shias of Ali is what? If Imam Ali was the rightful successor to the Prophet, as you believe, Of course we do. It's a fundamental belief. Imamat, one of our asul. Why did the Imam not fight? Right? Why did the Imam not turn towards the first Khalifa and say, this is my right? Why are you ascended the pulpit? When the second Khalifa came, why didn't the Imam? When the third, why didn't the Imam? So let's start by answering this question, right? Why did Imam Ali not fight? Right? One of the most common questions we get. I'm sure those of us that go to schools, colleges, universities, workplaces, and we have Muslim friends who are non-Shia, they always ask us this question. If you believe that Imam Ali was the rightful successor to the Prophet, why did the Imam not fight? Why did he not speak out? Right? How do you respond back to them? The best response that we have is from the Imam himself. Nahjul Balagha, a book that has been compiled, that has all the letters, sermons and sayings of Amir al-Mu'mineen. Our ulama say, after the Quran, the most authentic book that we have is Nahjul Balagha. After the Quran. The Quran, the word of Allah. Can't touch that. ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. This is the book of which there is no doubt. After the Quran, Nahjul Balagha, if you pick up Nahjul Balagha, sermon number 3, there's a khutbah in there called what? Khutbah Shakshakiyya. In Khutbah Shakshakiyya, Amir al-Mu'mineen answers this question for you. What does he say? He says, by Allah, the son of Abu Quhafa has dressed himself with my khilafat. And he knows that my position to the khilafat is like that of the position of the axis to the mill. Birds cannot fly up to me. They cannot comprehend me. So people ask me, Ya Ali, what are you going to do? So the Imam says, I have two choices. If I speak out, they will say Ali was greedy for power. If I adopt silence, they will say Ali was scared. So out of the two options that I have, I felt that adopting silence was the more academic and better approach. Therefore, I watched the plundering of my inheritance, even though there was a pricking in the eye and a suffocation in my throat. But I adopted silence until I watched the Khilafat go, that the first would then hand the Khilafat to Ibn Khattab himself, and then he would dress himself with my Khilafat. So, essentially, Amir al-Mu'mineen has answered the question for you. I had two choices. I can either fight or I can stay quiet. If I fight, I'll say I was greedy. If I stay quiet, they say that I was scared. But out of the two options I felt, I don't want the Muslims to fight. I don't want the Muslims to divide. The Prophet is gone. I have to save this religion. Therefore, I adopted silence. And in Khutbah Shakshakiyya, in Nahjul Balagha, read the sermon, you'll see the words of the Imam. There's a lot more that he says, but obviously I have a structure of my lecture in the time that I've been given, so we move on. Another reason why Amir al-Mu'mineen did not fight. You know, once the Khilafat was taken from him and Amir al-Mu'mineen came home, a few of his Sahab came up to him and they said, Ya Ali, you are the Khalifa, not him. Fight, we will fight with you. Imam says, are you sure? Yes, Ya Ali, we will fight with you for your Khilafat. Imam says, okay, tomorrow I want you all to shave your heads and meet me here outside my house, tomorrow. Of course, Ya Ali, yes. The night passes, the next day comes, Amir al-Mu'mineen comes out, 3 people are standing in front of the house of Amir al-Mu'mineen. Who? Kambar, Salman, Miqdad. With head shaved. And the 50, 60 that were here yesterday, Ya Ali, we will fight, didn't come. So Amir al-Mu'mineen is saying, what? You're willing to die for me, you're willing to fight for me, you are telling me to rise up against the Khalifa, you are telling me to take what is rightfully mine. But for me, you can't even shave your heads. So the second reason is what? Amir al-Mu'mineen did not have enough supporters and enough followers to instigate a war. Right, the Prophet in Makkah, which Muslim is going to say today that the Prophet wasn't the rightful leader? Is there any Muslim that can say this? No. Why did the Prophet not fight in Makkah? Why? Was he not the rightful Khalifa? Of course he was. So the Prophet didn't fight. His entire life in Makkah, the Prophet didn't fight against Abu Sufyan and the rest of the Meccan leaders. Was the Prophet not right? Of course he was. Why did he not fight? He didn't have enough supporters and followers. You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent what? 124,000 prophets, right? Did you know out of all those prophets, only 3 prophets got the actual physical seat of power? Just 3? 123,997 prophets weren't the Khalifa of their time. Were they not leaders? Of course. Were they not sent by Allah? Of course. Why didn't they fight? The situation was such during their time that they weren't able to fight. The situation was such they didn't have enough supporters. The situation was such they didn't want to cause turmoil and fights within their communities. So what happened? The first Khalifa came, he ruled. What did he say? Ya Allah, do not place me in a time where Abu Hassan is not present. He died. Second Khalifa came. Had it not been for Ali, I would have perished. He died. Third Khalifa came. Don't put me in a time where Ali is not present. He died. Now when the third Khalifa of Islam died, the Muslims now got together and they started to discuss who is the next Khalifa, right? Because the first one elected the second one. The second one created a shura for 6 of us to decide amongst ourselves who the Khalifa is. But the third one has left this world without designating anybody, without electing a shura, without nominating people. Who's the Khalifa? Then all of a sudden, jaag gaye sansare, let's go to Imam Ali. They come to the house of Amirul Mu'mineen. Imam Ali is fixing a shoe, a sandal, a strap on his sandal. They say, Ya Ali, come outside. The Imam comes outside. They say, oh Ali, we want you to be the Khalifa. Initially, Imam Ali declined the proposal and request. He said, for 25 years, you guys have neglected my right. And now, all of a sudden, when you have nobody left, you want me to be your Khalifa? Leave it. Just carry on doing what you're doing. Let me be with myself. No, Ya Ali, we want you to be the Khalifa. Please be the Khalifa. We want you to be the leader of the Muslims. Did the Prophet not say, Man kunta mawla fahada aliyun mawla? Did the Prophet not say, Allahumma wali man wala Ali wa adi man ada Ali? Did the Prophet not say, Haqqu da'iman Ali wa aliyun ma'al haqq? Now you remembered Ali ma'al haqq, huh? So 25 years, where was the haqq? And just on this hadith, that the truth is always with Ali and Ali is always with the truth. The hadith doesn't stop there. The Prophet takes one step further. A beautiful narration is what? The Prophet says, Oh Allah, turn truth in whichever direction Ali turns. Right? I ask you a question. Wouldn't it have made more sense saying, Oh truth, oh Ali, turn towards truth. Right? Ali, whatever the truth is, go that way. But no, the Prophet is saying truth itself, haqq. You turn wherever Ali goes. Meaning, wherever Ali ibn Abi Talib is standing, that is the truth. So I want the manifestation of truth. You turn where Ali turns, because that is the haqq. So, this, Ya Ali, please. The Imam Ali is fixing a sandal, he stops, he looks up. He says, this khilafat, this worldly khilafat that you are now offering me, is worth less to me than this shoe. I'm not a materialistic man. But again, if you want me to become your Khalifa and your ruler, I will. I have no problems with that. But I have to say something. What's that? I will rule according to the Quran and to the Sunnah of the Prophet. That's it. See, one of the reasons why Imam Ali didn't become the third Khalifa and became the fourth Khalifa was what? So when this shura happened between the 6 people, they said, Oh Ali, we want you to become the Khalifa number 3. Imam Ali said, okay, no problem. They said, but we have a condition. What's that? You have to follow the Quran, you have to follow the Sunnah of the Prophet, and you have to follow the Sunnah of the Shaykhain. So the Imam says, the Shaykhain? Hold on. If the Sunnah of the Prophet and the Sunnah of the Shaykhain are the same thing, why is this a stipulation? No, you have to follow the Sunnah of the Prophet and the Sunnah of the 2 Shaykhs. Imam says, I reject this. I will not follow no sunnah of the two sheikhs. There is no sunnah of the two sheikhs. What do you want about? So now the Imam says, my rule is Allah, Quran, and the sunnah of my beloved messenger. Yes, Ali, we accept. Okay. Imam Ali becomes the prophet. Becomes the, astaghfirullah, Imam Ali becomes the Imam. Watch them edit this video now and put it on YouTube. Shias believe this. Ya Allah. Now the Imam becomes the ruler of his time. As soon as he becomes a ruler, one of the first things that Amir al-Mu'mineen does is he removes all the governors from every single city. All the corrupt rulers from every single city. Kicks them out. And does what? Re-elects the rulers, re-elects the government. Creates a new cabinet. He says these people are not fit to rule. You see, the third Khalifa used to put his cousins in rule. Right? Because he wanted his cousins to benefit. The wives of the Prophet used to get money from the Baytul Mal. So when the first Khalifa was the ruler, his daughter used to get double the income from the Muslim treasury. And the rest of the wives used to get single income. When the second Khalifa became Khalifa, he gave his daughter and the daughter of the first double income from the Baytul Mal. And the rest of the wives got one income. I don't know if this is a good thing or not, but when the third Khalifa became Khalifa, he gave all the wives equal amount. No more double for you, triple for you, single for you. No. All 9 wives of the Prophet that are alive get the same amount of income. The first battle that took place in the Khilafat of Amir al-Mu'mineen was known as the Battle of Jamal. The Battle of the Camel. Why did the Battle of the Camel happen? It started with the third Khalifa, right? The moment the third Khalifa stopped the double income of the wives of the Prophet and gave them what the rest of the wives were getting, one wife got angry. And one thing that we do is we don't really say names from the mimbar. We just ishara kari da to unhanu aap hi samajh aa jandi hai. Choti ammi. She came, she says, my income has been halved. Why? He said, well, the rest of the wives get the same amount of income that you're getting. So what did she say? She says, the third Khalifa has deterred from Islam. He is no longer a Muslim. Some narrations say that she says he's a Jew. So she leaves angry, right? What does she do? She goes home. She gathers her family members and friends. She says, look, I don't want to stay in Medina while this man is in rule. Let's go to Makkah and do Umrah. Okay. So the wife of the Prophet leaves and goes to Makkah. She's performing Umrah. As soon as she arrives in, now this is the very important point of today's lecture. Understand this point, you've understood the lecture. What is it? She says she enters into the city of Makkah. She stands next to the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The wife of the Prophet gathers all the Muslims together. She says, oh Muslims, we need to stop the third Khalifa. He is not a Muslim. He is not the rightful ruler of the Prophet. He's not the successor of the Prophet. We need to stop him. She's instigating hatred towards the third Khalifa. She's instigating people to get ready to go to war against the third Khalifa. Until a couple of days later, somebody comes and says, oh wife of the Prophet, the third Khalif has died. What does she say? Okay, good. This is what I wanted. Good. Oh Muslims, he's died now. It's fine, don't worry, it's okay. Now she says to her people, let's go back to Medina quickly. Why? Who's the next Khalifa? Let's find out. So she's coming back to Medina. On the way, a traveler is coming to do Umrah in Mecca. She stops him. She says, oh traveler, where are you coming from? He says, I'm coming from Medina. She says, what's the situation of Medina? He says, the Khalif has been killed. He says, yes, I understand that. Who's the next Khalifa? She says, Ali ibn Abi Talib. Who? Ali? Become the Khalifa? Yes. Turn the caravan around, let's go back to Makkah. Why? Let's go back to Makkah. I don't want to go to Medina right now. She goes back to Makkah. She stands in front of the Muslims. Look at the hypocrisy. What does she say? Oh Muslims, the third Khalifa was killed unjustly. Bada zulm hoya hai. He was killed unjustly. We have to avenge his blood. Oh Muslims, rise up. We need to go to war. Why? To defend the third Khalifa. Hold on. Just a couple of days ago, you were calling him a Jew. And you were saying that he deserves to die. Then you got happy when you found out that he died. And now that you've realized that Imam Ali has become the Khalifa, all of a sudden now he was killed unjustly and you want to avenge his blood? So she raises an army. And she says to the people, Ali killed the third Khalifa. Therefore we need to go to war with Ali. So she arrives in a city known as Basra. She gathers her army members and gets ready to fight. As she is gathering her army members, Amir al-Mu'mineen gets a letter. In that letter it says, O Khalifa of the Muslims, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, the wife of the Prophet has come out to wage a war against you. She is criticizing you for the death of the third Khalifa. Ya Ali, she is now gathered in Basra. Ya Ali, what is your response? The Imam says, get the army ready, let's go to Basra. So the Imam arrives in Basra. A battle takes place, right? Now yesterday I said something and I think Shaji tusi bada sona jawab ditta hai. There's another thing that I'm going to say today again, is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, if anybody kills a Muslim intentionally, their end is hell. Right? If you kill a Muslim intentionally, your end is hell. Whoever instigated the battle of Jamal killed 2,000 Muslims. Where do you think she's going, right? 2,000 Muslims died because of this woman. What happened? The battle takes place. Amir al-Mu'mineen is fighting. The enemy is fighting. They're partaking in a war. Muslims are dying. All of a sudden, somebody comes to Amir al-Mu'mineen and they say, Ya Ali, what is the difference between Hassan and Muhammad bin Hanafiya? Muhammad bin Hanafiya was also a son of Imam Ali, right? But there's a difference when you're connected to Fatima al-Zahra. There's a difference, right? So the Imam says, do you want to see the difference? He said, yes, please. Imam says, Muhammad ibn Hanafiya, come here. Hassan ibn Ali, come here. He says, oh Muhammad, I want you to take an arrow and see that woman that's on the camel? Until she's on that camel, this battle will carry on. To stop this battle, we need to take down the camel. I want you to shoot the camel where in the left knee, the front left knee of the camel. So Muhammad ibn Hanafiya tries, he misses. He tries again, he misses. He tries again, he misses. So the person who asked, what's the difference? The Imam says, Hassan, come here. He says, Hassan, I want you to fire an arrow into the left front knee of this camel. First strike, Imam Hassan fires the arrow straight into the kneecap. Then the Imam says, oh Hassan, I want you to shoot another arrow into the left knee. Imam Hassan says, oh Father Ali, do you want me to shoot the knee or do you want me to pierce through my first arrow? Amir al-Mu'mineen says, pierce through the first arrow. So Imam Hassan fires the second arrow. It goes straight through the first arrow, straight into the knee of the camel. Then what happens? The Amir al-Mu'mineen turns towards that man. He says, you're asking me what is the difference between Hassan and difference between Muhammad ibn Hanafiya? Meaning, what is the difference between the sons of Batul and the sons of those who are not Batul? He says, this is the difference. My sons from Batul are ma'soom. They don't make mistakes. They're perfect. They are perfect. Then what happens? The wife of the Prophet falls down from the camel. As she's falling down, Amir al-Mu'mineen sends somebody to catch her as she falls. As she falls down, this man holds the wife of the Prophet and comforts her fall. She stands up and she says, look, I respect the fact that Ali has sent somebody to catch me, but he's made a mistake. What's that? The man who caught me as I fell from my camel was my non-mahram. I am the wife of Rasulullah. Ali made a mistake. The man removes the cover from his face. He says, oh wife of the Prophet, I am your brother Muhammad bin Abi Bakr. Don't you dare say Ali makes a mistake. No. So Amir al-Mu'mineen, when the wife of the Prophet falls down from the camel, the battle is now over. Amir al-Mu'mineen has attained victory. Now when he's attained victory, he says to his son Hassan, Ya Hassan, go and tell the wife of the Prophet to go home. So Imam Hassan enters into her tent. He says, oh wife of the Prophet, my father is saying go home. She says to the Imam, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying. So Imam Hassan comes back and he says, oh father, she says she's not going anywhere. So the Imam Ali says something now, something so great that as soon as this message was conveyed, she got up straight away and left. What was this message, Ya Ali? You see, after the Battle of Uhud, the second battle of Islam, because Imam Ali fought so bravely and victory was brought due to his sword, the Prophet said, I'm going to give you a reward, Ya Ali. What's that reward? He said, Ya Ali, after me, you have the ability to divorce my wives. Ya Ali, you have the ability to divorce my wives. Why? Because Allah says that a wife of the Prophet, when a Prophet dies, she remains the wife of that Prophet. She can't marry anybody else. So this izzat, this title, you know, al-Mu'mineen, the wife of the Prophet, they love this title. The respect that they get is because of this title. So Imam Ali says, Ya Hassan, go and tell the wife of the Prophet, if she doesn't leave this battle and go home, I will divorce her from Rasulullah. At that moment, what happens? She gets up straight away, packs her bags and leaves. Because she knows, if she takes this title away from me, that's it, I'm done. So she goes home. This was the first battle that took place in the Khilafat of Amir al-Mu'mineen. The second battle that took place in the Khilafat of Amir al-Mu'mineen was what? Was known as the Battle of Siffin. Now the reason why the Battle of Siffin happened was because of the Battle of Jamal. What? Muawiyah was the cousin of Uthman. They were cousins, right? So when Muawiyah had found out that the wife of the Prophet has fought Imam Ali to avenge the blood of Uthman, he says, hold on a minute, Uthman's my cousin. If anybody has the right to defend the blood of my cousin, it's me. Hence the second battle during Imam Ali's time has now been started, known as what? The Battle of Siffin. What happened? Muawiyah raises his camp, Imam Ali raises his camp. They come to the point where Imam Ali's army is in control of the river. Right? Muawiyah's camp arrives late. When Muawiyah's camp arrives late, they're very thirsty. So Amir al-Mu'mineen turns towards his companions and he says, move away, let's move, let the camp come and drink some water. They say, Ya Ali, we have the upper hand in battle. Why should we give them water? Let's just kill them whilst they're thirsty. Amir al-Mu'mineen says, no, even when it comes to our enemies, justice must always be done. So Amir al-Mu'mineen moves his camp away. The enemy's camp come and drink water. They're about to partake in what? The Battle of Siffin. As the battle is about to begin, there's a law and a rule to the battle. What is it? Muawiyah cannot fight, Ali cannot fight. That's the law. Right? The enemies and the camp can fight each other, but the two leaders and the commanders of the army are not allowed to fight. Okay, why? They know. You enter into a battle with Ali, where do you think you're going, right? They say in the Battle of Badr, Amir al-Mu'mineen was fighting, Hazrat Hamza was fighting, the uncle of the Prophet and the uncle of Imam Ali. All of a sudden as they're fighting, they have a conversation. Hamza turns around and says, Ya Ali, I've killed 34 people. Imam Ali turns around and says, I have killed 24 people. So Hamza says, Ya Ali, I have killed 10 more people than you. What does that say? Imam Ali turns around and says, oh Hamza, you are killing everybody. I, Ali, am killing those that I am looking in their entire nasl, from the man that I am about to kill, all the way until the day of judgment. If there is going to be a mu'min from his nasl, I will not kill him and allow him to live. And that way, his son will be a Shia of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Oh Hamza, you're just swinging left, right and center. Allahu Akbar. Ya Ali, you're just killing. I'm looking at their entire nasl and I'm seeing if there's any Muslims, then I will not kill that person. So they knew, look, if Ali fights, we're going to lose, therefore Ali is not allowed to fight. Okay. What did Imam Ali do? He said, which one of my sons will start this battle? See, my style of English lectures that I've been told from a few of you guys as well, and everywhere where I've lectured, they say, you're the only English lecturer that we listen to, that your style is the same as our Urdu majlis. Your style is the same as our Punjabi majlis. And the reason why I do that is because we're used to this style. The language changes, the Ahlul Bayt are the same. The language changes, the Fadail are the same. You should present it in the exact same way. So what does the Imam say? Which one of my sons will fight? Imam Hassan comes forward. Imam Hussein comes forward. Imam Ali says, I said, which one of my sons will fight? You are the sons of Muhammad, go back. Mubahila declared, you are the sons of Muhammad. I said, which one of my sons will fight? At that moment, a young boy comes forward. He says, Father, I will fight. The Imam says, oh my son, get ready. Cover your face with a cloth. Go enter the battlefield. As this boy is now about to enter the battlefield, one of the followers of Imam Ali, he comes up to Muhammad ibn Hanafiya and he says, Muhammad, is it fair that Imam Ali is protecting his own sons and he's sending you guys to go die? So Muhammad ibn Hanafiya says to him, what? They are the sons of Batul. We are the sons of Ali. It is the job of the sons of Ali to protect the sons of Batul. How? Just as it's the job of the hands to protect the eyes. We love them, we protect them. This boy progresses towards the battlefield. This boy has begun to fight. As the fighting is happening, he's killing left, right, left, right. This boy is killing people like nobody has ever seen before. Two things happened. One thing, this man comes forward. He says, I am the bravest man in all of Arabia. So this boy says, come and fight me then. He says, no, not me. I want you to fight my sons first. One comes, this boy kills him. The second comes, this boy kills him. 7 sons of this man come into the battlefield. This boy kills all 7 until finally this man comes forward himself. He says, Man hadha al-rajal? Who is this man who has killed all 7 of my sons? I will kill him. This man comes, he fights against this boy, but as he's fighting, this boy overpowers him, kills him as well, severs his head from his body. He falls onto the ground. This boy is now waving his sword around. He's saying, is there anybody else that wants to attack us? Ya Ali, is there anybody else that wants to attack us, the Ahlul Bayt? All of a sudden, there is a man from the camp of Muawiyah. This is Ali. This is Ali. He's fighting. No. He's broken the rules. What was the rules of Siffin? Muawiyah cannot fight, Ali cannot fight. Ali is fighting, this is wrong. Cancel the whole battle, this is all gone pear-shaped. All of a sudden, Imam Ali comes on his horse. Stops his horse right next to the horse of this boy. Now the Muslims are looking, thinking, huh? There's Ali. Who's this? So they say to the boy, Man ant? Who are you? So the boy removes the veil that he's blocking his face from. He turns towards his father Ali. Imam says, oh my son, introduce yourself. He says, Ana Abbas ibn Ali ibn Abi Talib. That's me. As this battle is commencing, Maliki Ashtar says that I came to a point where I entered into the tents of Muawiyah. I was about to kill him, right? As I was about to kill Muawiyah and end this whole battle and finish this whole fitna and fasad, all of a sudden, I hear a voice telling us, stop fighting, stop fighting. Imam Ali has asked for a truce. So Malik Ashtar thinks, no. There's no way that my Imam would ask for a truce and not tell me. There's Muawiyah, I have a sword in my hand. I'm going to kill him. No. The Imam says there's a truce. What? Amr ibn al-As was was one of the commanders of Muawiyah. He was a very clever man. He wasn't a brave man, but he was a very clever man. He wasn't brave in what sense? In the battle of Siffin, when Amir al-Mu'mineen was charging towards Amr ibn al-As to kill him, Amr ibn al-As got scared. He thought, oh no, Ali is about to kill me. There's only one way that I can protect myself. What is that? He began taking off all his clothes until he took everything off. Why? He knew Amir al-Mu'mineen would not look at me if I do not have any clothes. So as Imam Ali is charging to kill him, he takes off all his clothes. Amir al-Mu'mineen turns his face away. He saves himself. All right, this is your leaders. Subhanallah. In their majlis well, not majlis, but in their leg, Akho Subhanallah. So Amr ibn al-As says, Muawiyah, listen. We're going to lose this battle. We can't lose this battle. The best thing that we can do is what? Raise the Quran on spears, right? And ask the Muslims to an arbitration. Ali is not going to fight us if we hold the Quran. So they raise the Quran up on spears. Amir al-Mu'mineen says to his camp, look, don't listen to them. This isn't true. This is a false devised plan. A group of people within the army of Imam Ali said, Ya Ali, if you fight them after they have raised the Quran on spears, then we will fight you. We're not going to allow this. Who are they? the Khariji. So this group has now separated from Imam Ali, right? There's a lot more that I want to say about Siffin, but Siffin is finished. But just one thing, as I said yesterday, the older people in the audience don't really understand English, and it's a bit difficult for them when we speak for an hour and they don't really know and they get bored. So again, just for you guys, there's a rubai on Abul Fadl al-Abbas, right? 2 rubais. The first one is what? Tajdare Wafa Arjumand Abbas hai. और अब्बास ताजारे वफंद अर्जुमंद है, ऐसे खुदी पसंद खुदा को पसंद है. अब्बास के ये अलम पे नस्ब है कि दुनिया देख ले क्या गाजी के हाथ कट के कितने बुलंद है. And another one, Ya Ali. Another one on Abul Fadl al-Abbas is that he didn't get permission to fight in Karbala, right? Abbas was not given permission to fight. So what does he say? He says, "Kya kijiye ek band mein paband hu warna." Ek band mein paband hu warna, दिखलाऊं मैं करार का खैबर में उतरना. जिस सिमत से होगा मेरा एक बार गुजरना, जीने से भला लगेगा उसे मरना. वो खौफ बिठा दूंगा मैं सांसों में अभी से. वो खौफ बिठा दूंगा मैं सांसों में अभी से, कांपोगे ना गुजरोगे अलम वाली गली से. Sometimes even in English lectures there's no problem with giving some rubaiyah so the older generation can, this makes their majlis as well. So now the army of Amir al-Mu'mineen has split into 2 parts. One are the Shias of Ali, one are the Khariji. When the battle of Siffin finishes and Amir al-Mu'mineen attains victory, these people who have separated from the army of Ali, who are known as the Khariji, they say, do you know what? We need to kill Ali. We need to kill him. So now comes the 3rd battle in the life of Amir al-Mu'mineen's Khilafat, which was known as what? The Battle of Nahrawan. The Battle of Nahrawan was such a battle that the Khariji gathered an army and they came to kill Amir al-Mu'mineen. Notice how the Battle of Jamal happened. Because of Jamal, Siffin happened. Because of Siffin, Nahrawan happened. Because of Nahrawan, as we will discuss now, Ramadan came, and in Ramadan our holy Imam was then struck by Ibn Muljam la'natullahi alayh with a poisonous sword. So the martyrdom of Amir al-Mu'mineen began in the Battle of Jamal. And we all know who started Jamal, right? So the Battle of Nahrawan takes place, Amir al-Mu'mineen partakes. There's a lot I want to say about Nahrawan, but due to time, and we have a mathaib as well today, so inshallah, Nahrawan, Imam Ali wins, right? We already knew this, but Imam Ali wins, right? When Nahrawan finishes, the Khariji say, look, right, we have an idea, right? We can't kill Ali in battle. Right? There's 2 leaders right now. There's one guy called Muawiyah, he claims to be the leader. Then there's one guy called Ali, he claims to be a leader. And there's one more guy called Amr ibn al-As, he also claims to be the leader. What we will do is we will send one man to each one of these 3 and we will kill them. When all 3 of these guys are dead, we can elect our own Khalifa. No problem. So what do? They send somebody to kill Amr ibn al-As. They send somebody to kill Muawiyah. They send somebody to kill Amir al-Mu'mineen. The guy that tried to kill Amr ibn al-As, Amr ibn al-As's advisors and spies told him, there's a man here that's coming to kill you today. Don't lead the namaz today. You stay back, tell somebody else to lead the namaz. So somebody else is leading the namaz. Amr ibn al-As is sitting back. The killer comes and sits behind the leader of the namaz. He turns towards Amr ibn al-As sitting next to him. He says, don't tell anybody, but I'm going to kill Amr ibn al-As. So he goes, oh really? Kills him there and then. So that plan didn't work. The man that came to kill Muawiyah, after Muawiyah was walking through the mosque, he tried to stab Muawiyah, but he missed and just grazed his hip. Muawiyah killed him. Notice these 2 didn't kill the man that they were trying to kill, but they were killed. We all know about Ibn Muljam coming into the mosque on the 19th of Ramadan with Amir al-Mu'mineen leading Salatul Fajr. He attacks Amir al-Mu'mineen with a poisonous sword on his head. You couldn't kill Amir al-Mu'mineen in the battle. So the only way that you could kill him was what? You could only kill him when he was busy worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the only way. So when the Imam got struck, he said to his son, "Oh Hassan, don't worry about me. You finish the namaz first." Then they carried Amir al-Mu'mineen home. Amir al-Mu'mineen says, "Where is Ibn Muljim?" They bring Ibn Muljim in front of Amir al-Mu'mineen. Look at the difference between Amr ibn al-As, Muawiyah and Amir al-Mu'mineen. These two were not killed by their killers, but they killed the person that came to kill them. This man has struck Amir al-Mu'mineen. He's about to die in a couple of days. The first thing that Amir al-Mu'mineen says, he says, "Why have you tied him in chains? Open those chains. Why have you oppressed him? I'm still alive. He looks hungry, give him food. He looks thirsty, give him water. He looks tired, let him sit down. Ya Ali, this man has struck you, doesn't matter. The justice of Ali. It says, if I survive, I will strike him once, the same way that he struck me once. That's it. But we all know the strike of Ali is the strike of Ali, right? I mean, you all read Khaybar, when Marhab came to fight Amir al-Mu'mineen. Amir al-Mu'mineen struck Marhab so hard, started from his head all the way through his body. Half of Marhab fell here, half fell here. So one strike, Imam says, that's it. Then unfortunately on the eve of the 21st of Ramadan, what happened? Amir al-Mu'mineen is talking to his family members, he's giving his wasiyat. He takes everybody's hands and he places them into the hands of Hassan. But he takes the hands of Abbas and he places them into the hands of Hussein. Imam Hassan cries, says, "Father, you are leaving us." Amir al-Mu'mineen says, "Hassan, please don't cry. Have patience." Imam Hussein cries, he says, "Hussein, please don't cry. Have patience." Abbas cries, he says, "Abbas, don't cry. Have patience." But when Zainab and Kulthum began to cry, Amir al-Mu'mineen could not hold back his own tears. Imam began to cry himself. He didn't say, "Zainab, don't cry, Kulthum, don't cry." The Imam began to cry himself. But then he said, "Oh Zainab, oh Kulthum, just 1 minute." He turns towards his companions. Imam Ali says, "Oh my companions, can you all please leave my house and go far away?" "Why, Ya Ali?" He says, "I don't want you to hear the cries of Zainab. I don't want you to hear the voice of Zainab. No, this is my Zainab." We say, "Ya Ali, if you couldn't bear to hear your own Sahab hearing the voices of Zainab, where were you when Zainab was in the darbar of Yazid speaking to a drunkard? Where were you, Ya Ali, when all the companions of the Prophet were there and Zainab was addressing them saying, 'You killed my brother'?" In tonight's Masayib, I would like to speak about Muhammad and Ibrahim, the sons of Muslim ibn Aqil. The reason why I chose these two today is because a lot of our Muharram lectures, sometimes we don't remember the awlad of Muslim. We don't remember the nephews of Abbas. We don't remember Muhammad and Ibrahim. You see, Muhammad and Ibrahim were 4 and 5. For those who have young children, you will relate to this more. 4 was Ibrahim. 5 years old was Muhammad. It came to a stage where they were separated from Muslim ibn Aqil. When they were separated from their father, they went through a lot of oppression until finally one day they were hiding behind this tree and this woman comes and says, "Oh young boys, who are you?" So Muhammad and Ibrahim, they have a conversation. They say, "Brother, should we tell them who we are? Or should we lie? Should we hide? Do taqiyya?" So the woman says, "Why are you not telling me your names?" So Ibrahim says, "Oh lady, whenever we tell somebody who we are, all of a sudden the moment we say the names of our fathers and uncles and relatives, whoever we tell, they begin to slap us so ferociously that we fall onto the ground. We don't know whether we should tell you or not. We fear for our lives." The woman says, "Don't worry, tell me who you are." They said, "Do you know Ali ibn Abi Talib?" They said, "Yes." "Do you know Abu Abdullah al-Hussein?" "Yes." "Do you know Muslim ibn Aqil?" She says, "Yes, they are my leaders." They said, "We are the children of Muslim ibn Aqil." The woman says, "You are my masters, come to my house." So she takes them into her house. She offers them sanctuary. She had a son that was very evil. When the son comes home one day and he hears his mother talking, same as Muslim ibn Aqil's situation, he comes downstairs and says, "Mother, who are these 2 boys?" He says, these are the children of Muslim ibn Aqil, Muhammad and Ibrahim. He all of a sudden takes out a rope. He ties the hands of Muhammad around his neck. He ties that same rope to Ibrahim around his neck. He drags these boys outside of his house. He takes them to the rivers of Hilla. He places them both next to the river bank. He takes out his sword. He's about to sever the head of Muhammad. Ibrahim places his neck on top of the neck of Muhammad. He says, don't kill him, he's my brother. So as this Harith is about to kill Ibrahim, Muhammad takes his neck out and places it on top of Ibrahim. He says, don't kill him, he's my younger brother. Oh Ahlul Bayt, how oppressed were you that whenever they would tell them that they are the sons of Ali, people would kill them. It came to a stage where he moves Ibrahim to the side. He places Muhammad down. He severs the head and the neck of Muhammad. He throws his body into the river. He's holding the head of Muhammad. As he places the head down, he turns around, Ibrahim is gone. He doesn't know where Ibrahim is. So he begins searching. What does he see? He sees Ibrahim running into the river after the body of Muhammad. What does Ibrahim say? He says, oh brother Muhammad, please do not leave me alone in this world. This man, I am scared of this man. He is going to kill me as well. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. صلوات.